you are writing against the LGBTs. Unfortunately, none of these countries I'm going to show you have the freedom. They don't respect freedom, and that is the proof that LGBTs will never exist and will never be protected from aggressive homophobic communities around, leave alone the prisons and torture chambers. Uganda is my country. You can receive 14 years in jail or a life sentence. I mean, to live the rest of your life in prison for being gay. Yeah, there is also the homosexuality bill coming. It was challenged, and they are working to bring it to repackage it. There are always attacks from communities, from homophobic communities, to the gay people. Kenya is the same story. Ugandans who ran from Uganda to seek asylum in Kenya, the LGBTs I mean, they go to Kenya not knowing that Kenya has also 21 years in prison for someone convicted of being gay. There's also violent attacks. I have written many times, I have covered events where Ugandan gay people are victimized, beaten even by police in Kenya. There is no free press still. In Tanzania, there is no free press, but also LGBTs can stay in prison for life. They are attacked by people who are homophobic, their fellow citizens. Rwanda, there is no free press in Rwanda. You are not allowed to write unless you are allowed, because according to what you're going to. The protection to LGBTs is not there, and the community is still hostile. Burundi is also in East Africa. One can be in prison or pay a fine for being what you were. You can be attacked by people who are homophobic, and you are not allowed to write positively about the gay people. Sudan is not in Africa, but is a candidate. Yeah, he will soon join not in East Africa, but is probably coming. There is no freedom to the press, and LGBTs are put in jail for being that. They can also be punished by death. Imagine. Somalia is not in East Africa, but is a candidate as we speak. Death penalty awaits those LGBT people. Stoning to death is there, existing. Your message as simple as it is to other people via the social media, and that the information moves faster. You will not wait for the media, for the mainstream media. Yeah, then you will not have to wait for the professional journalists to come and cover you, because they are not allowed to publish you. This fastest reporting is growing worldwide, and because it supports even the main media. People use this to report issues in their communities, and why not gay people taught or empowered to use social media, to use citizen media to make their voices heard. This approach is the best as we speak for the people who are voiceless in Africa or in other parts, even in Europe, because it is the most modern journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you, especially Out and Proud, but I cannot I cannot end before saying thank you to the organizations partnering with Out and Proud. I'm really proud to be part of this. I will share with the pastor after here a message, some comment I received from a fellow pastor, his fellow pastor in America, condemning homosexuality, condemning me being fighting for them. They have no rights and they don't deserve rights. I printed it. So thank you so much. Thank you.
First of all, he's really sorry that he couldn't be here. Shortly about COC. We are an LGBTI organization and advocacy organization. We have been founded quite a while ago in 1946, and that makes us the oldest still existing LGBTI organization in the world, which is something we're rather proud of. Now, Andrew asked me to talk a bit about COC and how we can work together, and I thought it might be good to tell you something a bit about our history. Because when we started out in the 1940s, we weren't openly an LGBTI organization. We called ourselves the Shakespeare Club, and it was a meeting of people who were, fond of Shakespeare. And our first chairman used another name. He didn't use his own name. He used the name Bob Angelo. He never used his own name publicly to fight for LGBTI rights. That all changed later on. In the 60s, we got our second chairman, Benno Premstra, and he was the first person who was openly gay on Dutch television. And that's when our work and basically the LGBTI movement in the Netherlands also started to change. Where it was first still gathering, together, offering support together, we slowly started fighting inequality. For example, legal inequality. There was a difference between the age of consent for heterosexuals and for gay men. And the LGBTI movement in the Netherlands addressed that issue and got those laws changed. So that was basically the first phase in the movement here in the Netherlands. Later on, we kind of moved on. We moved on to the 80s and 90s. Of course, there was a lot of attention to HIV/AIDS and fighting that, but also equality and anti-discrimination laws, which were introduced here in 1994. And then in 2001, we had the marriage opened up, or the marriage equality. And right now, you see, there's still some legal issues, like for example, the lesbian women should be more easily able to recognize their children. How do I explain this? Like the woman who's not the biological mother can now more easily recognize her own child, whereas first it was a more complex adoption procedure. So we're still working on legal equality, but right now we're also moving forward with social acceptance and equality. And I don't know if any of you have been at the Pride a couple of weeks ago, but I thought the COC boat, I don't mean to pat ourselves on the back, but it was a lovely example of it, because we had a lesbian couple and a gay couple just kissing. Which is basically to say, because a lot of people, when they see a straight couple kiss, they're like, oh, that's cute. And whereas when they see a gay couple kiss, they're like, oh, well, not in our face. So we try to address those issues right now. And I'm kind of telling you our history a bit, because as, I have to check here, as Mr. Ssendi Peterson noticed, there are a lot of countries where things are still different. But that doesn't mean that things can change, and that's where the part where I go to the, what can we do and how can we work together? We have to work together trying to support the people that do fight for change. be it activists, be it journalists. We need to support the people who are really in their countries and fighting for the change. On the other hand, we all know that sometimes things can get a little too difficult, a little too heated, and you need to leave that country. Well, in that case, we need to make sure together, both COC and lawyers and the other Pride Diamond Group, that people are welcomed here in the Netherlands, and that, you know, from day one they can get their acceptance and feel welcome, and hopefully will also get a status. And I believe that, you know, group gatherings like this are vitally important. It gets you in touch with other people, you meet like-minded people, and I strongly believe in it. So you see, we strongly believe that this helps everybody to grow, and as you grow, you can also turn around and then support other people again, and support the activists and support the journalists, or maybe become an activist yourself again. So that is, I think, what we should keep in mind and should continue to fight for, and together and work together, and hopefully create the same conditions all over the world that we enjoy here in the Netherlands. So, thank you.
I met Tracy a year ago last year in the old Lutheran church at a manifestation of gay pride.